can still hear the vibration in the wood, but the air between us, it's turned into stone. You're on the other side of the world, even if you're only 10 feet away. The wallpaper is peeling in the silent hall, watching the shadows climb the velvet wall. The piano is a memory through a heavy door, spilling its sadness across the floor. Each note is a bubble rising through the deep, a secret that the hallway is trying to keep. The lock is a border, the lock is a line, dividing your silence away from mine. I'm a muffled echo, I'm a ghost in the grain, listening to the heartbeat of the internal rain. A low, resonant thump on a hollow wooden door. Locked out, it's the echoes of a closed door in the long hall, waiting for a shadow or a soft call. Minimalist sorrow in a muffled key, the version of you that's forgotten me. Receding reverb and a silver gray fear, telling me the things that I don't want to hear. The wall is a mountain, the wall is a sea, the space in the middle where I used to be. More time. The latch is a coldness that bites at the hand, a language of distance that I don't understand. The piano is a pulse in the room next door, counting the seconds on the dusty floor. I press my ear to the cold white paint, looking for a rhythm, however faint. But the reverb is a fog that's pulling you back, fading to gray and then fading to black. I'm a hollowed out echo, I'm a permanent weight, standing on the wrong side of the iron gate. Excluded. It's the echoes of a closed door in the long hall, waiting for a shadow or a soft call. It's the echoes of a closed door in the long hall, waiting for a shadow or a soft call. I'm still here behind the wood, behind the wall. Can you hear the echo? Can you hear it all? The door is a grave, the door is the end. I'm losing the lover, I'm losing the friend. Sudden loud bang on the door, followed by a massive 15-second reverb wash. temperature it dropped while I was sleeping. The blood is moving slower now. Everything that was soft has turned to glass. Even the grief is frozen midair. The strings are brittle, they're white and they're thin, letting the January sing through the skin. The piano is a needle, a frosting of light, sewing the shadows to the edge of the night. Each note is a fracture, each note is a sting, the only vibration that the winter can bring. The garden is silver, the garden is dead, holding the words that we never quite said. I'm a frozen string, I'm a crystalline egg, waiting for the sun to finally break. A sharp, high-pitched ping like glass splintering, petrified. With the winter ink and the frozen strings, a heavy silence that the coldness brings, neoclassical sorrow in a landscape of white, lost in the blizzard of the permanent light. A snapping of ice and a howling of wind, paying for the ways that we might have seen. The keys are frozen and the heart is a stone, the cold is born of being alone. Oohs that shiver and vibrate. Oohs that shiver and vibrate. Heart, your breeze before freeze. The air is a razor, the light is a ghost, the part of the season that I hate the most. The piano is stumbling on a sheet of black ice, paying the winter its terrible price. The howling is a language that I'm starting to know, the song of the hunger and the song of the snow. I'm a skeletal tree, I'm a glass-covered branch, buried in the weight of the white avalanche. The strings are snappy one by one, waiting for the return of a pale dying sun. A long, deep groan of a frozen lake shifting, fracture. It's the winter ink and the frozen strings, the heavy silence that the coldness brings. Winter ink and the strings, the heavy silence that the coldness brings. I can't feel my hands. The music is turning to dust. sudden sharp brand, followed by total silence for 5 seconds. The sun is too loud today. It doesn't care that the room is lopsided. The birds, they sound like they're laughing because the dust is the only thing sitting where you used to be. The coffee is cold and the kitchen is wide. Nowhere for the hollow feeling to hide. The piano is swaying like a boat on the sea, wobbling through the memory of me. The birds are a chorus of sharp silver needles, poking at the silence and the ego and the evils. The light is a golden and a mocking ray, pushing the shadows of the night away. I'm a lo-fi heartbeat in a high-def room, watching the morning bloom like a dew. It's sunlight on an empty chair and the morning after. The beat drop echoes of the jokes and the ghost of the laughter. Heartcandid dreaming in a yellow gold haze, counting the wreckage of the better days. The wobble is a vertigo, the birds are a sting, the only vibration that the daylight can bring. One empty space and a million dust motes, sinking the heavy of the final note. Go wrong. The shadows are retreating to the corners of the floor, avoiding the light coming under the door. The piano is a tape that's been left in the heat, dragging the rhythm and dragging the beat. The kettle is screaming in the room down the hall, a sharp interruption to the nothing of it all. I'm a Kavik ghost in a bright yellow trap, falling forever in the daylight gap. The chair is a monument to the used to be, staring in silence right back at me, exposed. It's sunlight on an empty chair and the morning after. The beat draw echoes of the jokes and the ghost of the laughter. It's post. It's sunlight on an empty chair in the morning after. Echoes of the jokes and the ghost of the laughter. Look at the dust, it's dancing, it's celebrating the sun. It doesn't give a damn about the vacancy. It just shines, it just mocks. Turn it down. A ribbon of rust and a spool of regret, playing a song I was born to forget. The piano is a liquid that's starting to dry under the heat of a magnetic sky. The tape is a bridge that's starting to tear sending a message to nobody there. The skips are a heartbeat in a broken machine, lost in the static and the spaces between. I'm a brittle tape, I'm a garbled refrain, recording the sun and recording the rain. A sharp zip sound as if the tape sped up for a second, then a deep thump, corrupt. It's the brittle tape and the lost voice. We lost the signal, we lost the choice. Little ghost in a hauntology dream, ripping the edges of the digital seam. A garble of ghosts and a stutter of keys, falling to dust on our magnetic knees. The voice is a shadow, the voice is a blur, searching for the things that we thought we were. The frequency drifts like a boat on the lake, forgetting the promises I didn't quite make. The piano returns, but it's missing its high, a muffled reflection of a lead-colored sky. The lost voice is humming a melody of dirt, the sound of the healing and the sound of the hurt. I'm a plastic ghost, I'm a silver gray blur, the echo of the people we thought we were. The tape is so thin you can see right through the hole in the middle where I used to be. You, degraded. It's the brittle tape and the lost voice, and the lost voice. And it is a snippet, we lost the choice. Don't, there is no good, the voice is gone, there's no women, the oxide is dust. Can you hear me? I am born. Shatter the real. A sudden following snap, followed by the sound of the tape flapping wildly against the player. A sudden violent snap, followed by the sound of the tape flapping wildly against the player. It's been a decade of silence. The felt has grown hard, like a heart that's tired of beating. Every note requires a sacrifice. The hammers are heavy and the keys are gray, counting the ghosts of a yesterday. The piano is a mountain in a small dark room, beating a rhythm of a quiet doom. Each strike is a burden, each strike is a debt for the things I haven't forgotten yet. The felt is compressed by the weight of the air, playing a song for nobody there. On the weight of the dust on a copper string, the only vibration that the winter can bring. Buried, it's the weight of the dust and the old felt, watching the wax and the memories melt. Minimalist sorrow in a leaden key, the version of you that's heavier than me. A mechanical ache and a wooden groan, leaving the silence to sit on its throne. The thud of the hammer, the clack of the bone, the heaviest sound. Sinking in the gray, wash the light away. The strings are all rusted and the wood is dry under the pressure of a lit-colored sky. The piano is stumbling on a low-end crawl, waiting for the gravity to finish it all. There's a language that I'm starting to trust, the honest vibration of the iron and dust. I'm a physical ache, I'm a mechanical sigh, too heavy to live and too heavy to die. The felt is a blanket for the pain and the old, keeping the music away from me cold, oppressive. It's the weight of the dust and the old felt. It's the weight of the dust and the old felt. It's the weight of the dust. It's too heavy. The dust is a mounting. The hammers are turning to stone. The weight is everything. Can you feel the thud? Can you feel the floor? There is no more music. There is only the impact. Boom! Boom! Settled. 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 It's been a decade of silence. Settled. 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 It's been a decade of silence. Settled. 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 It's been a decade of
decade of silence. The hammers has grown hard. Settled, settled. It's been a decade of silence. Settled, settled. It's been a decade of silence. It's been a decade of silence. The hammers has grown hard. It's been a decade of silence. It's been a decade of silence. The hammers are turning to stone. Wait, is everything, is everything. Can you feel the bed? Can you feel the floor? There is no more music. There is only the impact. Boom. Settle. The track begins with the sound of a heavy iron crank being turned, a rivet turned, squeak link. Squeak link. Squeak link. The clockwork piano's a dry staccato, tick-tock rhythm on a single note. The oil dried up in 48, but the rhythm, it doesn't know how to stop. It just gets harder to turn. A heartbeat made of brass and grit. Listen to the gears crying. A circle of iron and a spring made of lead, counting the hours until the morning is dead. The piano is a piston, the piano is a wheel, trying to remember how the soft things feel. But the rust is a hunger and the rust is a skin, letting the oxidation finally in. The cello is a shadow dragging on the floor, like a heavy chain on a cellar door. I'm a clockwork heart in a hollowed out chest, looking for a reason to finally rest. It's the rust in the mechanism and the clockwork heart, watching the precision just fall apart into some sorrow in a dark jazz haze, counting the wreckage of the clockwork days. Scrape of the metal and a hiss of the steam, waking up slowly from a copper dream. The gear is slipping, the spring is tied, running out of timing in the middle of the night. of Metal Gear shattering, followed by a long descending groan.
Gold leaf is peeling from the ceiling so high, under the weight of a charcoal sky. The piano is stumbling in a three-quarter limp, tracing the ghost of a pale silver glimpse. The footsteps are heavy, the footsteps are slow, dragging the shadow of the things we don't know. The floor is a mirror for the cracks in the soul, watching the fracture swallow the whole. I'm a ghost of a waltz in a ballroom of air, dancing with someone who was never there. Where'd it go? It's the ghost of a waltz in the empty ballroom, spinning the thread on a spiderweb loom. Dark walled sorrow in a noir-stained dress, the beautiful version of a terrible mess. 1, 2, 3, and a slide on the wood, doing the things that we never should. The chandelier is shivering, the music is thin, letting the loneliness finally in. Round and round till the floor is the sky. The velvet is dusty and the music is sour, playing the ghost of our final hour. The piano is a spiral that leads to the ground, looking for the silence that the dancers have found. The dragging is earthly, the dragging is deep, like a secret the wood is trying to keep. I'm a ballroom of echoes, I'm a chandelier side, waiting for the music to finally die. The tempo is sagging under the weight of a dance that started a century late, forgotten. It's the ghost of a waltz in the empty ballroom. dancing on. Don't look down, don't stop the count. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2. Is getting thin. I can feel the edges of the room closing in. One breath for the memory, one breath for the dark. The piano is holding its breath, just like me, sinking to the bottom of a windless sea. The notes are losing their silver skin, letting the heavy finally in. The ceiling is lowering an inch at a time, erasing the rhythm and erasing the rhyme. I'm a lung full of dust, I'm a heart full of lead, watching the oxygen leave the bed. A faint thump of a heartbeat slowing down. The filter moves further down. The mid-range frequencies disappear. The sound is now a low vibrating growl. The hissing sound of the air becomes a vacuum-like roar. Extremely long, breathy sounds that fade into silence. Less loud, less feel. Final chest pre-S. Can't reach view. Light vibration is everything I'm becoming. The floor, the air is gone. Clear. I looked in today, and everything was where it belonged. The symmetry, the light, the person I promised to be. It was so quiet. A silver pool, a perfect frame, holding the letters of a holy name. The
The piano is playing a garden of glass, watching the shadows of the centuries pass. I reached for the edge of the porcelain sky, looking for the truth in a beautiful eye. Sudden print of glass followed by a 1-second burst of white, lower fractured. It's the shattered reflection on the mirror's end, losing the shape of the lover and friend. Neoplastical beauty in a digital fire, burning the image of the heart's desire. A burst of the static, a crack in the view, losing the me and the version of you. We are the shards on a cold stone floor. The person in the glass isn't there anymore. That suddenly stuttered, like a CD skipping. The image is split into 1,000 me's, falling to the ground on our jagged knees. The piano is trying to find the old line, but the glitches are eating the yours and the mine. A shard of the sun and a sliver of dark. The digital error is the only spark. I'm a mosaic of the things I've lost, counting the pieces and counting the cost. The mirror is hungry, the mirror is deep. The broken reflection is the promise I keep, dissolved. It's the shattered reflection in the mirror's end, dissolved. It's the shattered reflection in the mirror's end. The glass is in my eyes, the code is breaking. There is no more whole, there is only the shared. Who am I in the noise? Who am I in the prints? The mirror is gone. The ink is running thin, and the margin has reached the edge. I've said everything I had the breath for. The rest is just paper. The ivory is yellow, and the ink is dry. Under the weight of a closing sky, the piano is walking down a long dark stair, tracing the silence that's waiting there. Each note is a chapter, each note is a year, falling away from the hope and the fear.
a finished line, leaving the yours and leaving the mine. Concluded, it's the final page, and the ink and ivory, the end of the story, and the end of the bravery. Cinematic sorrow in a wooden chest, giving the rhythm a permanent rest. A slow descent to the bottom of the key, where the water is dark and the spirit is free. One last strike and a long gray breath, the beautiful logic of a musical death. Goodbye, say goodbye. The binding is cracking, the leather is old, the story is finished, the story is told. The piano returns at the edge of the board, striking the final and dissonant chord. The descending scale is a heavy lead chain, pulling the sunlight out of the rain. I'm the empty bottle, I'm the dried up pen, never to start the first sentence again. The ivory is cold like a winter stone, the most honest sound that I've ever known. I'm filled, it's the final page, and the ink and ivory, the end of the story, and the end of the bravery. Cinematic sorrow in a wooden chest, giving the rhythm a permanent rest. The binding is cracking, the leather is old, the story is finished, the story is told. The piano returns at the edge of the board, striking the final and dissonant chord. The descending scale is a heavy lead chain, pulling the sunlight out of the rain. And I'm the empty bottle, I'm the dried up pen, never to start the first sentence again. The ivory is cold like a winter stone, the most honest sound that I've ever known. Concluding.